All right, hello everybody. So today we're gonna do two tutorials. We're gonna do a magic square, and then we're gonna do, or I'm sorry, magic circle, and then we're gonna do a granny square leading off of that magic circle. And I've got one from this pattern that's finished, and I'll walk you through how to make one of the same size, and then we're going to stitch these together. So I'm using a 5, an H. Man, this is, sorry, my stand is wobbly. All right, come on. Hopefully that is clear. Is a 5 millimeter H hook. And then this yarn is from Hobby, Hobbii. It's a Swedish company, I believe, somewhere over in that area. And this is the yarn is called Universe, and the color is 14. So I'll be using that. A lot of people, when they do granny squares, they use different colors for each of these rows. This one kind of naturally does that, and then I really like it. I don't think I've actually used this, and I ordered a few balls. So you can start this two ways. You can start with by chaining 4, which I'll show you how to do. These stickers might let's see if I can get a better background. Okay, so we're gonna make a slip stitch, or a slip knot. And then we're gonna chain 4. The only stitches you need to know for this are a chain and a double crochet. So if we were going to keep going from this way, we would slip stitch this together to make it a circle. But I'm going to show you how to do the magic circle, because I literally just learned how, and that's how I did this other one over here, so I like to keep it the same. So you're going to make 2 loops, and they're going to crisscross on this side, not on this side. So crisscross here, and then hold these together. These are going to be straight, these are going to be crisscrossed. So on this side, you'll slide your hook underneath and grab this, bring it under, twist the hook towards you, and then we're gonna go to this crisscross here and get under this, but over the first one, and then back into focus. I can't do this in one motion, so I'm gonna hold this, and this is basically a chain. And in this this is our chain 4. Is our chain 4 from before, and you can pull it tight when we're done with this. I'm gonna change positions here because the focus is driving me crazy. So I definitely just did this first round without remembering that I paused the camera and I needed to turn it back on, which is me all over. Okay, so you need, their first step in here, we got the magic circle done, is to chain 3, which I had already chained 2, and that's going to be our first, double crochet. So we'll get this, we'll make 2 more double crochets. If you're doing it with the 4 chain method, you're gonna double crochet, you're gonna do 3 double crochets in each chain, and in the middle of those you're going to chain 3. So you get 1 chain and you're going to double crochet 3 times in that one space, then chain 3, and then double crochet 3 times in the next space, and then chain 3, and then you'll connect it with a slip stitch, so it looks like a little square. And when we get to row 2, your row 2 is going to be exactly the same. So we got we got 2 double crochets. And if you're getting frustrated with like your circle, the yarn is really thin. Dakota's barking. Hold on 1 second. Okay, Jason just showed up, aka Filth if you're from the Midwest Magic Cleaning channel. And Mac is recording, or he was editing his video in the office. In the office, you can barely hear anything from the outside, which is kind of the point. But I had to go make sure that Mac knew Jason's here. Okay, so we've got our 3 double crochets, and then we're gonna chain 3 times. I think I was saying that if it feels weird or flimsy, if you're not used to working with the magic circle, once you get your project a little bit more established, it'll feel better. It does feel weird. The yarn is light. Like, I think all projects, so you chain 3, and now we're going to double crochet 3 more times. I think all projects don't look great until they're in like their first, you get a good handful of rows done underneath, because it's just like yarn. It has no structure at that point. So you get discouraged that your thing is not looking like the thing that it's supposed to look like. Just give it some time. The worst thing that can happen is you have to go back and rip out stitches. And that's fine, because the world would be boring if mistakes didn't happen. Okay. So we've done our 3 double crochets. We're gonna chain 3 again. And if you've seen my other video where I crocheted in, this is not the way that I grew up doing double crochets. I dropped a stitch. I just started doing them like this a couple months ago, and I don't know why, and I don't know if I saw it somewhere or what the deal is, but it looks like exactly the same. I seriously don't know where it came from, so. All right, I'm really sorry. I know the focus is going in and out on this. Okay. So you got a magic circle. You don't want to like tighten it right away until you've gotten this whole first row done, because otherwise you might run out of room. Just wait till you have your first row in there, and then you can tighten it. And I wouldn't even tighten it like a whole lot. Did I? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, oops. 1 too many crochets there. All right, so then I'm gonna chain 3 again, and we'll be at the start of our original chain over here, which is a, fake double crochet, and then we're just gonna slip stitch into the top of this chain. I keep bumping the camera. Okay, so just pulled on this tail to tighten it up a little bit, and it'll look further tight when we start building on this rose. But here's your little square. We're gonna be, hold on. Nope, I dropped some. I just messed something up. I'm sorry. Today is one of those days where it's like, it's not a no bones, or it's not like a no bones day, but it's like a like rubber bones day. All right, we have got one more group of double crochets to do. If you were like watching that happen like a horror movie, I hope you enjoyed that. Like, no, stop. But so yeah, but yeah, it's easy to undo and fix it. We're fine. It's all good. I'm also generally a lot quicker at this, but yeah. All right, so how many? We did 2, we got 1 more, and then we'll finish it up. Yeah, I hate when yarns do this. That's also like how low, I guess not low effort, but I guess low effort. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. How like low effort I want to keep these videos, because if I have to do the work, but if I have to sit and think about all the work that I have to do this, I'm not gonna do it. So if I can just do these and not super mess with them and just pop them in order and upload them, that is fine by me, and I hope it's fine by you. And if it's not, that's fine. You can go watch other videos. Ha! All right, I forgot to do the chain 3 again. Jeez Louise. This isn't a prank. I'm legitimately forgetting this. I'm sorry. I've also got a chiropractor appointment coming up, and I like keep looking at the time, and I'm just, my head's not in it right now. I apologize. Okay. So I've done all of the things, hopefully. Lord. All right, joining it with a slip stitch. Okay, so now it actually looks like a crochet or like a square. We've got 4 double crochet spots, 4 chain 3 spots, and then from here we are going to have the pattern kind of wrote down. We're going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is going to be a triple crochet and a chain 1.
I'll see you later. Enjoy your weekend.
Okay. So we're going to go to this big open space, this big chain 3, and we're gonna double crochet 3 into there. And this, again, if you did the other way, with the non-magic circle, where you just chained, and then that's fine. This is where we'll join back up on the patterns. I will also link the video that I watched to learn the magic circle. It just came up first thing on YouTube. Lovely woman with an accent. And then the link to this granny square pattern too. This is a pretty basic one. There are other ones that have the design of like, oh, it's a sunflower. There's one on a blanket that I think I bought the pattern for, but I haven't committed myself to working on it yet. But it's like a third eye pattern. And then there's one that kind of is like a swirly. Anyway, you could do this, and you could use this for like a garment. You can make a garment out of it. Yeah, this is a very basic and easy thing. So we did our chain 3 here, or I'm sorry, our double crochet 3 times. Then we chained 3, and we're gonna keep working in the space here, and we're gonna double crochet 3 more times. I'm gonna be saying like 3s all day today. Well, like I've got this nerve pain thing going on. It's not the sciatic nerve, it's femoral. which is what I'm seeing a chiropractor about. But that's part of the reason I'm also kind of just not focused, is that hurts. I didn't sleep well last night, and it just sucks. Like I've got knee injuries on the same leg from other stuff, so I'm like very familiar with chronic pain, but this is worse than normal and it's unpleasant. Okay, so this is going to be our corner piece. It's our double crocheted 3 times, chain 3, double crochet 3 times. Then we're going to make a chain 1 in the middle here. And in the corner, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to double crochet 3 times, chain 3, and then double crochet 3 more times in the same hole, the same big hole. It's finally starting to feel fall-esque around here. I don't know how long that's supposed to last, but it's been in like the mid 70s this week, and then the temperature at night is like high 50s to 60s, and it's been so pleasant. I love it. All right, double crochet 3 times, chain 3 times, stop moving. Also, I hope you enjoy my nail polish. Maybe not necessarily how rough they're looking, but the nail polish is pretty cool. And like the line is called Emily something. Yeah. The store is What's Up Beauty, I believe. I am like not getting paid for any of this. I just know people are gonna ask. Because I've had that's all messed up. I've had a few people ask about this since I've been wearing it. I bought another one from there that's magnetic, but I've never messed with magnetic stuff yet, so I might have to try that. It's not magnetic in the sense, like if you're unfamiliar with nail polish, it's not magnetic in the sense that like I can get a spoon to stick to it or something. It just after you paint it on, you like swirl a magnet over the top of it, and it like moves some pigments around, and it kind of looks like a cat's eye or like a tiger's eye stone. Okay, so we did our 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. We're gonna chain 1 because we're in the middle of this underneath square, and same thing again. We're gonna double crochet 3 times. We're not gonna hit the camera anymore. And then we're gonna chain 3 and then double crochet 3 again. When I'm pulling this off to the side, I'm like trying to look at it like not in the camera so I can see what the hell I'm doing. And like in retrospect, there's like easier yarn that I could have chosen to work with. But I was looking through my stash today to pick out one, and I was like, ooh, this one's like rainbow and pretty. So that's basically me. I'm gonna go for the aesthetic and not what's like the easiest. But like honestly, that's also Midwest Magic cleaning, so we have that in common. Alright, there, chain 3, next 3 more double crochets, and I'm using US terms as far as I'm aware. Like my upbringing with crochet is my mom taught me how to chain and double crochet, and that's basically all I knew how to do for like, I don't know, until like the last 5 years. Then I started reading patterns and stuff, like learning how to read patterns, and sometimes it is very confusing. But yeah, like the stitches themselves, you know, that's a whole nother world. All right, so again, we're in the middle here, so we're gonna chain 1 and then go back into this hole here. And this is our last one that we're gonna do the 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet again. And we're gonna connect it into the middle. Yeah. Okay. had to pause it to make sure that it wasn't time for my appointment yet. My camera's starting to be fucky, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. It's like it knows that I'm going to upgrade it in October, and it's starting to act up. Like, it's fine. I'm going to upgrade you in October. I'm going to get... Hold on. Yeah, it's 3. Is that 3? That is 3. I'm going to get the newest Pixel once it comes out. I'm like a full stan of the Pixel phones. Their cameras are great. Mac really likes whichever one he's got, but I have been a fan of the Google Pixel since 3 was the first one I got, and right now I'm on a 6. It's also the first screen that I've ever broken. I've never broken a screen until this one, because I always use the glass protector, and I didn't put it on. I bought it, didn't put it on. All right, so on this one, this is where we started out. This is our original chain 3 that was I think it's chain 4, yep, to denote that it was a double crochet and a chain. And so on this corner here, we're only gonna we did our 3 double crochet, chain 3, and we're only gonna do 2 double crochet because we're gonna chain on the top of this one. Hold on. Sorry about that. Oops. Whew. I should finish that first. Okay, there we go. So yeah, now we're gonna slip stitch into the top of this one to pull it over to that group to make it look like a double crochet. A slip stitch is where you just wind it once and then you get all the yarn or the other 2 off at the same time. If I can do that, because man, this yarn is being picky. Okay, so that is 2 rows of the granny square plus our circle. So this is where the pattern changes. We're only going to do 1 more row. This is where the pattern changes. If you wanted to make a big square blanket, you could just keep doing this over and over until, you know, like you can just keep making 1 big square. I've done that before. And then for this, we're going to stop at 3. We're going to attach these together. And what I would do if I were going to make a bunch of granny squares for like a jacket or a blanket is I would make all my granny squares first and then worry about attaching them all at the end. Some people don't do that. Some people also weave their ends in as they go because they're literal saints. I have a friend who always weaves her ends in as she goes, and it's amazing. I could never be that disciplined because weaving in ends is the worst part of crocheting, in my opinion. Okay, so we're going to start our last row, and we are going to chain 3. And then this is the chain 1 space from the previous row. So this chain 3 is going to act like a double crochet. We're going to put 2 more double crochets in here. I've also had, I've been crocheting a lot. I've been working on the cat couch. So I'm using both hands more than I normally would too, just because my left one is a little sore. Okay, so we've got our 3 double crochets here. We're gonna chain 1, and then we're gonna go, it's gonna be the same type of corner. We're gonna do 3 double crochets, chain 3, and 3 double crochets in this corner. Do you guys have any end of summer plans, beginning of fall plans? I've eaten soup in the last 2 days. I'm like ready for it. I made a dirty chai, which is one of my favorite things, and it is if you don't know, it's chai tea with hot chocolate. I make chai tea and then I dump a pack of Swiss Miss in it, and that makes me feel pretty fall-like. And then I also am gonna bake some pumpkin muffins soon, and I get the box mix from Pillsbury, and I make big muffins, and then I make a homemade cream cheese frosting, and it's so good. I think next week I'm gonna do a cooking video, and I'm gonna do kind of homesick, or not. I am kind of homesick. I'm also like super missing my mom because she just moved away, and it's like starting to hit me this week. So I'm gonna do one of my favorite dishes that I learned how to make from her. It was what I requested like for all my birthday meals, and then and it's like funny now because when I cook her birthday meal, like that's what she asked for from me. So I'm gonna do chicken penne pasta, which is chicken Alfredo. It's like chicken fettuccine Alfredo, it's just a different noodle. So all right, so we did our corner, and then we're gonna chain one. Oop. Lost my stitch. Okay, and then in this space here, this chain one space, that still looks like 4. Anyways, in this chain one space, we're gonna do 3 double crochets. We are closing in on me being able to do lives, which I think is like preferably how I'd like to do this, because I can talk to you guys while I'm doing this. I don't know, we'll see. I might not be like actually getting any crafting done if we're doing lives, but anyways, I need whoa, what just happened? There we go. I need 4,000 total watched hours, and I think we're at like just under 2,000, I believe. Okay, so here's my 3 double crochets and chain 1, and then we're gonna do our square corner, which is the 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets. So yeah, it's the other thing is like like I could do that, or I can get like 1 million views on my shorts, which like no, please don't try and do that. That's gonna take way too long. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I need to be able to do lives, and then I'm just gonna at the moment I'm gonna try and do 1 video a week, and then when I get the ability to do lives, I'll probably do like a video and then a live. So we got 3 double crochets. We're gonna chain 3 here. I'm not gonna promise like I'll always have a video on Wednesdays at 4, or I'll always do the live on Tuesday nights, because stuff happens. But I will always try and put up a video towards the end of the week, and we'll kind of figure out lives when we get to that point. So we got another festival in a few weeks. I just saw some potential merch designs. Really excited about that. Well, I saw like the colors we might be using like on the hoodies, but I haven't seen the actual graphic yet. But our graphic person is fucking awesome, and he did a really great one last year. It was so cool. So I have no doubt that he's gonna knock it out of the ballpark, because he just always is that way. All right, so we did the corners done, so we're gonna chain 1, and then chain 1 space down below, 3 double crochets. So then if you were going to continue on here, going round and round, every time you had a chain one space, that's where you're going to want to put your 3 double crochets. And then you would, so on this next row, or we'll show on this row. So you would have one, you do the corner here, 3 double crochet, chain 3, 3 double crochet, chain 1, do a 3 double crochet here, chain 1, do a 3 double crochet here, chain 1, and so on and so forth. Every time you have a chain 1 or a chain 3 space is when you're going to want to do your 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets, 2 bits. Sorry. All right, 3 double crochet, chain 1. Oh my Lord. I'm working on the cat couch right now, but this really wants me, like, it really makes me want to keep going with this and make granny square stuff out of this exact yarn. I'm actually going to have to go check my yarn stash and see if I have got more of this color, because I just want to do stuff with it. But the other project that I'm working on a few things. Well, I'm not. I have a few things lined up. I'm working on the cat couch. Then I have to restart a sweater that I had made for my mom because it was really lopsided and weird and funky. And then I went ahead and did the smart thing and washed it in the washing machine. And it ruined it hardcore. And then, so anyways, I've got one that I want to remake for her. I've got different yarn. And then there's a blanket that I'm kind of perpetually working on that uses, it's merino wool, and I can't remember the brand, but it's not cheap, and it's thick. Oh man, what is it? But I have they keep taking their colors in and out of, like, they'll discontinue colors. But the yarn is so expensive that this is why I'm working on it in fits and bursts. It's going to be a king size blanket, and if the yarn stays the same price, it's going to cost about $1,000 by the time I'm done with it. So I'm getting like a few balls at a time, and I haven't even finished like working on one ball because I keep going and doing other projects or whatever. So anyways, that's something that I've been working on and off of, and it's like soft and amazing, and it's gonna look so cool. I'm really excited, but it's also probably like gonna be too hot to sleep in ever. I don't know. But the wool, like the yarn is so soft and great, and I've never made a whole blanket for me. One that was like full bed size, our bed size, and like fancy. So that's my big fancy me project. I actually have like a hard time working on stuff for me because by the end of it I don't like it and I won't wear it. But that's also like part of that is I don't necessarily follow the pattern when it comes to like what hook and yarn size, and I like didn't understand until kind of recently what that has to do to your, like, how it's just not going to turn out the way it looks if you don't use the right, width or whatever, girth of the wool or the yarn. So, yeah, I don't know. Or I'll buy a yarn for a colorway, and the colorway does not work up the way I expected it to, and that's kind of a bummer. So the cat couch yarn that I'm using, I really like it, but it does not look as good as it did when I saw somebody else working with it, but they were doing a completely different project and like using a completely different needle, and it wasn't that big, and so it was working up a lot more rainbowy. This is working up really purple. I'm also really bad at telling like the right side and the wrong side of a project unless you're specifically doing like front loop, back loop stuff. So the cat couch has like supposed front and back, and I don't see it. Okay, so here we are at the start, and we did our 3 double crochets here. So we are just gonna close this with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to show you how to put them together. Sort of. I'm going to show them how I would put them together. Okay, so like I said, if I were going to keep going with this, which I mean I might, but I would make multiple squares. I'd make all the squares that my project needed before I sewed all these together, just because I might like lose faith in humanity if I had to do it. And I also would try and, I don't know what color I would use to like put these together. I'd probably just keep using what I'm using, but like if you're doing these all different colors, like say this inner circle is going to be gray and that's going to be black and this one's going to be white and this one's going to be white and that's going to be gray and that's going to be black, or however I'd connect these in white because it's not going to stand out. I'm also like, I mean, you can tell that these are a different size because of how tense I was. Like this one was the one that I was doing just on my couch watching Fargo. So this one is the one that I was doing for you guys, and I was, you know, not nervous, but I was kind of flustered, and I didn't do the pattern right a few times. So you could tell there's like a little bit of a size difference, but it will, like, you can block. It's not enough that it's going to be painful because you can block these. So yeah, I would fold it just like a book, and then again, this is just mostly self-taught stuff. You know, I didn't, like, when I was learning, there weren't, like, YouTube wasn't a thing for one thing, and I don't mean it in, like, a back in my day, but, like, there, you couldn't just go out and look up how to close out a project. And I don't think I ever really got, like, as a kid, I don't think I ever really finished anything. I made a rainbow hat out of rainbow yarn for one of my really good friends. And I'm still very glad that I did that for them. Okay, so yeah, just kind of go in and out. You're gonna match the stitches up. This is gonna be like pretty obvious, or like a pretty obvious join, but when you're working with like bright yarn, sometimes that's fine. Just go back and forth, or you could go back and forth, or you could loop it around like a suture. I'm trying to like look off camera to do this. My hands are still not really cooperating. I hope this is focused enough. I don't think it's gonna look awful. We'll see. And this is like demonstration purposes. Also, like, I'm super glad to be doing these tutorials and stuff, and I like teaching aspect of it, but I just want to stress, like, I'm not the best like at crochet, you know. So if my tutorial is not working, there are probably, you know, loads of other more well-versed crochet teachers on YouTube. You can come hang out with me to chat, and you can go to the other guys, gals, fella folk There we go. You can go to the other folk to do the good learning. All right. Basically got us to the right spot. And you don't want to pull super tight. I don't know if you saw that, how it was, yeah, like scrunches up like a purse. It's just, you know, you want it so they match. And then, where are we at? I'm just gonna loop it around again over yonder. And then go through that to tie it off. I have scissors somewhere in here. I'm not exactly sure where though. See? So, yeah, I mean, it shows up, but it's fine, you know, and it's not the tightest. You know, if you really want to get into it, you could straight up sew these together if you wanted to on a sewing machine, or you can do like thread, you know, it's whatever. Like, when you have a big enough blanket, not like people aren't going to be searching out these types of flaws. And if they are searching out those types of flaws, then don't let them see your blankets. And then like these, you just weave in. That one, I'd probably pull these a little tighter and try and tie them off. But I've also, like I said, I've never really worked with the magic circles, so I don't know how awesome that is. If you're supposed to pull it super tight or not, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, and then weave in your ends, which basically just you take this stuff, you know, and then you just kind of weave it around and make a bunch of knots. At least that's what I do. And then like I would only, you know, do about this much and then I cut it off. With my like yarn stuff that I make, I don't wash it that often, because I'm so lazy about finishing things off, and like it's probably not done the best way or the most stabilizing way. But a lot of this stuff is like, I've got a cowl that I wear, you know, a couple times in the fall, and it's not something that I'm using every single day. The wool blanket might be out a little bit more than most, especially blankets. And if you have pets, you kind of got to worry about the yak factor on those. So, but yeah, those are our granny squares. I hope you liked it, and I hope you try to do your own. And there's also, like, as far as like blocking goes, and blocking is where you just you kind of stretch your yarn to get it in a place. And I've seen really cool ones for granny squares that are basically like pegs in a box, and you stick all of your granny squares on top of them like it's a stack of coasters, and then they look like, or they all get the same shape and size. So you can tell, like, I should have, you know, if this was going to be a professional thing that I was doing for somebody, I would block these all so that they were at the same size, and I'd do it before I would put them together. So, but anyways, that is a granny square. And I will see you guys, probably in the community tab at some point, and definitely we're going to do chicken penne pasta next week. So I will see you then, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy crafting!